assuming the beginning of this game will be largely similar. There shouldn't be too much because I don't think the decisions really start for a little bit. Yeah. The decisions won't start for a tiny bit of time. You wake up on the beach soaking wet, salt water stinging the inside of your throat as you're nearly drowned. Water falls from your mouth as you open it to gasp for air. You have no memory of how you got here. In fact, you can only remember your own name, but not where you came from or a single fact about your life. What you do know is that despite the outrageous beauty of the landscape around you, you feel incredibly sick to your stomach. Wow, really went down the wrong pipe, huh? You need a minute, or can I go on? I can give you a minute. We got plenty of time. Endless time, really. An eternity, if you catch my drift. So I am excited to do a second playthrough also, because we know more about, like, we know the ocean is the entity. We sort of know how Dwight and Claudette are here. We know that Oni will be there if we go the spirit route. We know that the trickster is there. We're just coughing. As I was saying, also I may not be reading every single thing, especially if it's like little bits here and there, just because we've already read at least the intro part. You look down at your feet, ankle deep in the crystal blue water of a newly arrived wave. The water recedes back into the ocean. It reveals a grotesque discovery. Oh, right. Okay, so we can do this completely different than the last time. Decomposing face stares up at you from beneath the sand. All you can do is vomit. Stream of dark bile, bugs, worms, and other ick. Questions race through your mind. Where are you? How did you get here? Who is behind this incredibly charming and well-spoken voice in your head? However, answers don't come easily. Your mind is completely blank. What will you do? So I dug up the face the last time, so why don't we just run? You turn away from this wretched sight and begin to run, but the beach, it's endless. Despite how far you run, you get nowhere. Exhausted, you stop and look behind you. Your footsteps are raced by soft blue waves. You turn inland, considering your lack of options. You've got no choice but to walk into the brush. However, the beauty of the beach is not shared by the darkness of the palmy woods before you. There's nothing inviting about this shadowy forest. Terror freezes you in your steps. Why are you trying to run away? This is paradise. You're here to enjoy yourself, don't you know? Have a little bit of fun. Take charge of your own experience. That sure was weird, that voice again. Do oceans normally talk? Your memory isn't right, but you're pretty sure you remember learning as a child that oceans do not speak directly to people in spooky terms. Your mind doesn't have a chance to linger any longer on your current situation, as you feel something soft bump into your foot. When you look down, you find a volleyball sitting in the sand there next to you. You stare down, frozen. A voice calls out from behind you. Will help, please? You turn around, and when you see what's waiting for you, your jaw just about hits the ground. There's our girl! So yeah, this playthrough we are exclusively going for Huntress. I do someday want to do a playthrough that's like just going for Trapper, just to see what happens. 4 gorgeous mantras stand halfway between you and a well-tended volleyball court. Each of them oozes an undead energy, a magical aura reaching out and penetrating you via your eyes. Your heart begins to race, curiosity, fear, desire. You can't help but stare at these casually dressed, let's call them killers. I don't know, not to be judgmental, but that's just the energy they put out there. So many competing feelings rush through your mind at once that you are completely paralyzed. Hello? There are weird days, and then there's this. All you can do is look down at the ball and back up at this monstrous lineup of, well, literal monsters. Sexy ass monsters, though. What do you do? So we tossed it back. I'm gonna be weird. I'll be like, no thanks. Damn, what an alpha move. You just became the type of person who says no thanks to a group of actual killers? No one tells you what to do. Thanks for nothing, I guess. Huntress jogs over to collect the ball from the ground next to you. For someone so large, she moves deftly and silently across the sand. Hard to make out his expression from behind the mask, but it seems like Trapper might be smirking. As you try and read Trapper's face, you realize that the two of you have been staring into each other's eyes for a really long time, even though everyone else is headed back to the volleyball court. Is this the route to romancing Trapper? Finally, you can't take the tension. You look down, breaking his gaze. As soon as you do, he turns to follow them. Alone again, you look across the beach at these strange residents who casually bat a volleyball back and forth, happily ignoring your intrusion onto their private beach. Should you be frightened, worried, excited? I did refer to them as killers, not to give too much away. But at the same time, Dan, they are looking very appealing in their own way, and nobody so much as lifted a blood-soaked finger in your direction. Don't be scared. You were made for this. Well, geez, if the spooky ocean voice says not to be scared, I'm sure it's all going to work out. With no good reason not to, you decide to head over and see what happens next. This is interesting. Like, we barely got into the intro, and we're already getting sort of different vibes from some of these killers. It seems like you've derailed the volleyball game just by showing up. You derailed the game by just showing up, nitwit. And I guess you're also a nitwit. Look, it's best to just go with what Trapper says when he says it. That's a policy I hold for pretty much anyone who always seems to have fresh blood on their hands. Hey, don't worry about it. It's all just a game. Existence, that is. Besides, you seem a lot more interesting than a silly game. What's your deal? What brings you here? You mean you're here to do more than distract from my total domination? I love this, that like they're taking into account that he is sometimes invisible. That was Wraith. That means he was done with the game too. Either that or he saw a butterfly or something. Look, I don't care why this slack-jawed moron is here. I just want to know, can I kill them or not? You know you can't. At least not yet. Oh yeah, not yet. You might want to, you know, say something? Actually, never mind. There'll be plenty of time for that soon enough. Right now, this group has some questions for you. But be warned, answer quickly and answer well. This is the time quiz and it will be very important later. I'm gonna go with like complete opposite of my actual answers. Right, they're like super important. Actually, no, never mind. Not important at all. Don't worry about it. How attractive would you say you are? Not at all. I've never thought of myself as attractive. Well, watch it. That's bullshit. You're beautiful. You hear me? If you could have any superpower, what would it be? I chose invisibility, so I'll go super strength. Super strength would be cool. Strength isn't all about muscles. True strength is up here. You expect Trapper to point to his head, but instead he taps one of his bulging shoulders. It's specifically in these muscles. Nobody gives a shit about your calves. What was your best subject in school? It was history, so I'll go skipping class. If I had ever gone to school, I'm sure I would have done great in skipping class. I prefer skipping over walking almost always. What's your favorite animal? Horses, but I chose dogs. I don't even know what that is, so I'm gonna say that. Be honest, you have no idea what a muslet is, and you're just hoping it's some secret answer that results in a hilarious Easter egg, right? Because there is no Easter egg, it's just another word for ferrets and stuff like that. Oh. Oh. What's your favorite color? I chose blue, so let's do 3-Day-Old Corpse. Nobody expected me to pick this, so I'm gonna say 3-Day-Old Corpse. That's a pretty edgy answer, right? I'm pretty dangerous. I talk about corpses. No biggie. Those are no good to me unless they've been frozen. You'd be surprised how quickly good meat can spoil. Or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. I'm still getting to know you. Your dream job. Did I say not working at all? I'm gonna go astronaut, because being afraid of heights, I don't think space and me is a good idea. I'm also very motion sick. I'd be the worst astronaut. I'd be pretty amazing to be an astronaut, I think. Hard to imagine being farther away from anyone than floating in space. Cold, inky vastness of nothing. Forever. Best flavor of ice cream? Mint chocolate chip. I chose vanilla or chocolate, I don't know. So we'll choose horseflesh. Horseflesh. Oh, they're talking about Maurice. Because they fucking killed him and took him out of the game, those bastards. That's mean. I mean, ocean sounds. My favorite flavor is pain. Same. Same. My vanilla swirled with pain. I think mint chip is the greatest flavor I ever conceived myself, but enough about ice cream, am I right? Hold on a second, this reminds me. I am right. Always. The lesson you should learn before we go too much further. Do what I say if you want to survive. Pick mint chip. You're teaching lessons now, Raider? You rascal. Kill or be killed is the rule on this island, even for faceless voices. Tell me, what's the best flavor of ice cream? So, I did actually pick mint chip the last time, because that's genuinely my favorite flavor. So we'll pick horseflesh. You got a reading comprehension problem? I just told you mint chip is where it's at. You almost bought yourself a game over there, buddy. That's right, I can end your life whenever I want to. I'm in control, so don't you forget it. If I say you like mint chip, you like mint chip. Now try it again. Horseflesh. Who do you think you are? Let me tell you who. Not the one in control if you live or die. You have to understand, it feels very good to end someone else's game. You should try it sometime. They really just gave up on me, didn't they? I'm just gonna scroll through all of this. I'll do the same answers, but then when it comes to the ice cream question, I'll only pick mint chip once, and then I'll comply. Because I'm just curious to see what happens. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's the mint chip. So I can do it once. And then I'll say mint chip. No, obedient. I think you're gonna do just fine. Anywho, now that they know so much about you, I'm sure this group wants to start getting to know them. I'm Trapper. I pretty much run things around here. I'm the smartest, richest, strongest person on this whole island. I don't like losers. If you want to know what a loser is, say hello to Wraith. I'm Wraith. I'm nothing like everyone else. I like nice people and loathe big dumb idiots. I'm Spirit. I don't like most things. I don't really hate most things either. It's not worth my time. But the things I do hate, I really hate, you know? Based on my personal observations, life is nothing but suffering, and society is a carefully calculated lie to keep everyone subservient to those in power. It's better to choose just to not take part. Geez, it's like she was downright murdered by society. She hates it so much. Oh wait, I'm remembering Spirit's story now, and that's almost exactly what happened. I'm Huntress. That's who we're romancing. Don't let these bummers get you down. There's lots of fun to be had on this island, along with lots of love. Yeah, there is, if you know what I mean. Grow up. Your whole body. So we know that those two were actually hooking up, based on our last playthrough. I've explained this about 1,000 times. I'm dead, but I'm not a literal ghost. I just create a trail of fog. I'm not made of it. Whatever, fog body. Not nice. He's not nice. He'd love it. Only sometimes. Disgusting. Why she likes it. Don't speak for me. I also hate it. Stop speaking entirely, actually. For the first time, I agree with Wraith. Let's move on. Otherwise, they'll do this all day. Besides, if I know this crew, and I do, they'll want to show off some soon enough. We're done playing, let's do something else instead. Wow, for once I actually agree with the meathead. I said we go to my yacht, the massive boat dock nearby. I'll give everyone a taste of true luxury and power. Wraith rolls his eyes. Don't mind him, he just hates fun and happiness. No, I hate the endless, desperate, soul-crushing pursuit of wealth and the way it's flaunted needlessly and the cruelty it engenders. What about hanging out by the pool? I find the water calming, simple, beautiful. Hey, what about our volleyball game? We can exercise and have some fun as a group. Are you all serious? There's a perfectly good lounge chill out right here. I'm tired, and besides, I hate being in the sun. Where do you want to go? So, we're picking everything Huntress, so volleyball court. I hate that I interrupted your game. You should finish it. I love to play outdoors. I also love to meet new people. I also love to bring them home to play. I'm sort of a big kid at heart. Oh, that's so cute! Obviously you are too. I like you already. I hate people who are too serious. They ruin everything. Well, they do if you don't handle them swiftly. Hold on. For just one moment. This is Dwight and Claudette, our activities coordinators. They're also the cooks, waiters, bartenders, janitors, and every other job. They're the only help remaining on the island. This place we call Murderer's Island, cue dramatic musical flourish. None of the others survived. Survived the interview process, I mean. Hence, while we shall herefore refer to them as survivors with capital S. These two have worked here a long time, so very long. I don't actually know how long it's been. Sorry. Anyway, I should have probably let Dwight and Claudette do their mandated jobs. They sure look happy. They're vibrating with a nervous energy that is starting to give me the creeps. We'll now escort the group to the venue of your choosing. However, in the future, we recommend waiting for us to present you with your options whenever possible, and don't just run off to various activities unsupervised. We don't have much autonomy around here. The least you can do is allow us to do our job. Most you could do is help us get off this eye. Dwight. Pardon me. Please follow us. Hey, narrator? Yes, something I can help you with? Those two, Claudette and Dwight, did they just start to mention something about wanting to escape? Is escape an option? Should I be trying to escape? Escape them? No, I think you're mistaken. Seemed like Dwight was asking for help to get off this island, though. Oh, right, yes, that's true, he was. But he just meant that he wants to get to the other vacation island getaway, a couple miles south of here. It has much fancier accommodations than this island. It's one of those big corporate outfits, quite exclusive, where all the famous celebrities hang out, very luxurious. Doesn't quite have the charm that this island has, though. Trust me, you wouldn't want to go there. With all the money that comes a lot of restrictions. This is where you belong. Now off you go. It's time for an activity. On this island, your decisions matter mostly. Well, I agree with them. Not like that other island. So what'll it be? Same option. Wow, it's so exciting having someone else into athletics on the island. Spirit and Wraith are so boring, and Trapper is so predictable. Relying on brute strength to win games, he has no respect for all the grace and skill. Thank goodness you didn't choose the yacht. What kind of person wants to be a sitting duck in the middle of the open ocean? You're just asking for a sneak attack from an elk. Wondered how long it could take her to bring up an elk attack. Game's starting up again. Make sure you're watching close. It's really something, huh? Elk don't swim. Live in the forest long enough and you'll see an elk swim. Believe you me. Cheer for me, cute stuff? The killers resumed their place on the volleyball court and resumed the match they were playing before you arrived. Hey, fancy a lemonade? I see you working up a thirst eyeing those bouncing buns playing volleyball. Claudette hands you your lemonade. She leans in and whispers in your ear. Who would you bet on to win, Who's the MVP of your little heart? You're nervous, so you don't want any of these killers to hear you talking about them, or not talking about them if they're into that sort of thing. Pick someone, please. It's not like we've got all day, night, week, month, year, lifetime, eternity or anything. Put sand in that guy's shorts. Sheesh. Okay. Wow, so we get to just pick, like, right out of that. Huntress? Oh shoot, Huntress overheard you! You've got your eye on me? I'm flattered that you think I'm good, but honestly, I'm a little annoyed that I've been so flashy with my moves. Usually I'm so sneaky that you can barely see me at all. Huntress is totally kicking my butt. Correct answer. I'm allowed to support the other people on this island, right? Oh geez, I have no idea what the rules are here. Are there even rules? I should have stayed in my secret Larry. My secret Larry! Wow, what a game. Tie. Can there even be a tie in volleyball? No one knows since this is everyone's first time playing. These killers don't usually have time for team sports amid their busy schedule of brutally tearing survivors to shreds. Hey, is Claudette crying? Are you okay, Claudette? Probably just shedding a tear for her lost fellow survivors. You know, this resort had 4 employees when it opened. Oh. Who were the other 2? It's nothing, I'm totally fine. Whatever you say, boss. Oh look, the killers have dispersed and are all coolly looking down their own way. Cooling down their own way. Spirit's reading a novel, Trapper is stretching sensually in between chainsaw curls. Wraith is standing on the beach, desperately hoping that the sand will swallow him up, and Huntress is doing some target practice with her bloodied hatchet. You feel a nudge. Dwight is looking at you expectantly. You should really make a move. Life is short. You could get snuffed out at any time of day. Carpe diem. Carpe PM. Carpe nowem. Go ahead, chat one of them up. So which killer caught your eye? Huntress. You head over to Huntress. After all, this whole sporty hangout thing was her idea. Might as well see how she's doing. You were totally great out there. Where'd you learn to move like that? Whose moves? My moves? These moves? They're nothing. Huntress blushes a bit from beneath her mask. It's cute on cute, if you ask me. Sometimes you gotta look past some bloodstains. A lot of men have run for their lives in my presence. You really learn a lot about the human body is capable of in those types of scenarios. I love to exercise, and anyway, we're all running for our lives when we keep in shape. So I've never thought of fitness that way. Maybe it's time to start. You never know who is coming for you. Through the bushes, fast as they can, propelled forward by hunger, desperation, or just plain old boredom. Doesn't seem like boredom is going to be your problem, surrounded by all these characters. Survival, on the other hand? You're gonna need to compensate for your lack of killer instinct. What's your style? Imagination. What I lack in fitness, I try to make up for in imagination. You like that? I like to make up little games for myself to play. My imagination is very vivid. Can imagine the two of us panting, sweating, our clothes torn. I'm with you. Our hands gripping the sheer face of rocks, cliff wall as we climb. Not exactly where I was going, but sure. Up to a cavern entrance, a dark cave, slick with dew, shimmering in the moonlight. I'm back with you. Back of wolves await us there. Friends, enemies, dinner? We look into each other's eyes, then back at the wolves, and together we all howl. It sure sounds exciting. My blood is pumping just thinking about it. Come on, everyone. The fun and games can't be over already. I get it. I get it. Volleyball, not ruthless enough. Look at us. We crave action. We crave excitement. We crave the thrill of the hunt. It's time to see if our friend here has the hunter's instinct. Are they gonna chase me? Saw you surveying me like prey on the volleyball court. Huntress waves a bloody axe in the air and you step back nervously before you realize she's not waving it at you. She's handing it to you. Don't worry, I've got several of these. It's important to hone your skills, especially when you're in a new place where threats may lurk around every corner. You need to make sure that you are the biggest threat of all. Just don't aim those things at me. You can't even see me. Okay, so we are doing mini games. I'm impressed. A worthy opponent. See, I completely miss or am perfect. I mean, could have done better, but who's keeping score? For the record, I am, and you got 6 points. Hatchet throwing? Cool, I guess. I like my stabbing to be more close and personal. Somewhere, a loud horn blows up and the survivors snap into action. Time's up! You hit her. You heard him. Get to the next activity. What is the next activity? Oh, right. Dinner. Seems like the next activity is mealtime. How quaint. You were expecting what? Capture the flag? Do you know how complicated it is to run a game like that? Much more so than sitting and talking. You arrive at the cookout area to find an assortment of picnic tables scattered around. What were you expecting? A grand hall with a huge banquet table? This ain't some prestigious fancy epic like you'd find on cable. Dwight and Claudette usher you to your seat, but there are very limited seats directly around you. You know, great. Seems everyone wants to sit next to you. Even better is that they don't want to sit next to certain other people either. Start. No one wants to sit next to Trapper. Meanwhile, he refuses to sit next to Wraith or Trickster. I forgot about him. Oh yeah, Trickster's here. Surprise? Yeah, well, they don't call him Expected Stir. I'm sorry, even if I get nervous around crowds of killers, my whole shtick gets a little flustered. Hey there, you're looking good. Real good. And we literally can't let Huntress and Trapper sit together. No, seriously, their arms are too big. They can't fit at the table. They sit side by side. Look at this, we can't even fit everyone on the screen at the same time. You probably think it's an error, but it's not. It was completely intentional. Let that be a lesson for you. Every error you think you see is a choice. Got that? Okay, Dwight and Claudette are directing traffic. You sit on one side, the rest of them will sit opposite you. Huntress and Trapper sit at the end in their enormous sexy arms. Now that everyone is seated, we can begin dinner. The night's meal was prepared slowly and carefully with both love and hate for 12 hours over a spit. We hope you all enjoy. We really, really hope you do. Hey, you didn't actually tell us what you're serving. What are we eating? It's meat. Seasoned with a specific number of special herbs and spices that we simply can't divulge. My favorite. Meat is good. Meat is murder. Which you know, considering what you've been up to. Who are you to get judgy now? I'm just sharing facts, and you need to murder something to eat its meat, so that's, like, technically true. Technically true is the best kind of true. Okay, enough yapping. Let's eat. You thinking what I'm thinking? Gonna be a person on that spit, right? Or several parts of overlapping people, perhaps? I haven't seen many pigs wearing palm tree button-down prints, you know. When you look closely at the spit, you spot what definitely appears to be scraps of fabric sandwiched between some layers of meat. I think I might be sick. Is there anything else to eat? It took 12 hours, and we do literally everything on this island. Actually, there's one thing you're not doing today. You're not carving up this delectable meal. Wow, he's right for a change, because I am with my broad axe. It's the perfect tool for easily chopping anything in twain. First, who says twain? Sometimes I swear it's like we're all from completely different historical eras. Second, I'll handle this with my cleaver. Fast, powerful, and clean. At least it's clean when the meat is cooked. No blood. Well, you two and your ridiculous bicep swinging contest. Enough. Grow up. Obviously, my gorgeous katana is the only option. The hell it is. Oh, I'll show you both my katana and send you to actual hell if you'd like. Please stop. Please. I hate when we fight, or talk, or even when we look at each other in the eye. Do it. I have the skull of Azarov. Right. Instead of slicing it, yup, you can club it into a second death. I know this isn't what you want to eat, but hurry up and volunteer to carve up Felix. I mean dinner. Oh, was Felix one of the other, survivors that, like, worked at the island, maybe? Otherwise, this will go on for hours. No hyperbole, they once argued over who had the most effective weapons for 72 hours straight. And it doesn't matter which one does it, when they're all done, they'll take even longer cleaning up their weapon, all while explaining the value of maintaining your tools. Despite being a bunch of cold-blooded killers, for some reason, they're always terrified of tetanus. Hey, why don't you just let me carve up dinner? Splendid idea. We'd hate for it to get cold. He hated when it got cold. Here's a machete, freshly sharpened. I kind of wish they didn't do this every time. That was pretty good. I'd like to see what you could do with a less clumsy weapon. Yeah, I said it. Machetes are dumb. Dinner is finally served. For real. The sounds, especially coming from masked killers while they eat, which involves lifting their mask and shoving food up behind them, are nasty. Spirit, meanwhile, doesn't even eat. She's the only one who seems to be really embracing being dead. They're all dead, right? This is obviously hell. I mean, come on, we're still trying to be mysterious here. You think mystery comes easy? Claudette and Dwight aren't the only ones who've been working their asses off to make this night perfect. Well, at least they're lifting their masks. This is only 99% as disgusting as it could be if they just tried to mash stuff through there. Spirit, aren't you hungry? Two best things about being dead is not having to eat. It's only one thing. Think about it. Number 2 is no number 2. One less thing to think about in the afterlife. Even if I wanted to eat, I have no idea what would actually follow. You might have noticed, but I'm mostly just a bunch of dismembered body parts floating in a spectral form. You see how deep this cut on my abdomen is? I don't think my digestive tract connects anymore. Between the food and the behavior of the group, this might be the worst meal in history. But even worse is they're staring at you. You're not eating. They don't like it. I think they want an explanation why. What do you want to tell them? I'm sorry. Actually, it's not the food or the company. I'm just super self-conscious how I look when I eat. Oh, I actually do understand that. I was just pretending to be grossed out by dinner so I'd have an excuse not to chew in front of everyone. Sorry if that made things awkward. I'm actually extremely hungry. Yeah, watching people eat is gross, but try to relax and not worry what everyone thinks. It's so important to always remember people are watching you, judging you, definitely not ignoring you, right? Guys, is anyone listening to me? Typically a group that includes one, if not more, cannibals staring at you with meat juice dripping from their chins would be quite scary. However, right now you're barely able to keep your head up, let alone get scared and run away. I'm a narrator, not a physician, so please don't take this as medical advice, but I'm pretty sure you need to eat to stay alive. Oh hey, it's me again. Your friend, mentor, and guide. Narrator to the narrator, the ocean. Not sure how I feel about this characterization, but I'll allow it. I brought you here, and I might be the only one who can help you now. There's only one thing you must do to survive. You have to figure out why you're really here. No one can tell you, not unless you follow the right path, or at least a right path. There's too many of those to count. Hopefully you can pick at least one of them. Because there are even more wrong paths. Many of them lead to your demise. We found a few of those already. Others lead to something even worse. Starting scene's over and having to fast forward back to where you were. Am I right? For this place holds many secrets, even from itself, but the one that truly matters can only be learned if you answer the most important question. Why are you here? Answer that and you'll learn the truth. The ultimate truth. Vague, mysterious. I gotta give it up to this ocean character. That's some quality early game storytelling. Hold on, I'm back. One more piece of advice. You've made many choices by now. Some of them I liked, some of them I did not. It's in your best interest to make more choices that I like. For the choices might be yours to make, but they're mine to reward. You wake up to find Huntress holding your limp body, gingerly pouring cool water into your mouth. Oh good, you're okay. Sometimes when I try and care for people, they have a way of ending up less alive than when I started. Which would be a total bummer if that happened to you. It's been so long since I had a normal, healthy living person around. Usually I'm just falling into the same old routine of smashing everyone's head open with a hatchet before I really get to know who they are as a person. But you're not nearly as scared or too busy writhing in pain to see me for me. You feel nervous in her arms, not just because they're maybe crushing you a little bit, but because she's beautiful. Yes, beautiful. But I was just gonna narrate the fact, not, say it out loud as a single word like some creep. Beautiful mask. Your bunny mask. It's quite gorgeous. Nice recovery. But now that you're awake and talking, you gotta keep this up. Did you make it yourself? You're the first person to ever ask me that. Yes, I did. You seem so quirky and cool. You could do anything. Own an Etsy store, be a doctor. Why is it that you kill people? Huntress sighs. You can practically see the memories flickering across her eyes. But she hasn't tried to kill you yet, so that's a good sign. It's all I was ever taught to do as a young girl, so I thought it was right. Even through the mask, you could see that Huntress is blushing a bit. It seems like your line of questioning has made her a little nervous. You didn't eat that much at dinner. Want a snack? She offers you some jerky. Probably human jerky, but her spice game is on point because it smells pretty damn good. Sure. When on Murderer's Island, you may as well eat as the killers do, plus you are really hungry. And you can chow down on jerky sensually, right? I'd love some. After a moment of quiet chewing on what you choose to believe is not human thigh meat, you decide to be bold and ask another question. Have you ever been in a relationship before? Dang, you're really going there. You do not play around. Huntress takes a moment to think deeply before answering. I must say, it's quite amusing to see this hulking bombshell get all twisted up with these personal questions. Kudos to you. There was this one dude that looked at me quite provocatively in a clearing once, but that doesn't count, does it? You hear the faintest giggles bubble out from behind Huntress's mask. You're so cute, Huntress. No, it doesn't count. Whoa, what's this? You found something in the sand. Huntress reaches down to pick it up. It's a hair clip, probably left by some little girl who was playing on the beach long ago, who is definitely still alive and not all dead. Huntress closes the bag of jerky with the hair clip. Seems like she's a little mixed up on how exactly this particular item works. Did you go with the flow or show off some of your knowledge for advanced humaning? Let's just go with it. Huntress is admittedly a little scary. It might be best not to correct her at this very moment. What if she gets upset? She could probably kill you, with nothing more than this very clip itself, wielded as a blade in her nimble fingers. But honestly, would she even need the clip? Certainly her bare hands are enough to get the job done. You take a gulp, thinking about how fragile your puny little neck is. Also, between the fainting, human jerky, and the probably dead girl's hair clip, you're feeling ready to get back to the group and have a lie down. Good thinking. Wouldn't want that jerky to dry out. I hate to break this to you, but never mind. This jerky's already dry. Just as things are really heating up, you hear a flurry of footsteps behind you, and you quickly spin around and ready to fend off whatever new danger has popped out on this strange island. Only to find it's Dwight and Claudette sprinting across the beach, clipboards in hand, which they're waving in the air above their heads. It's very important that we stick to the itinerary and attend each event as scheduled. Playing stick for cute sort points was not part of this evening's activities. That's strictly started for after campfire story. At this rate, we'll be late. Playing sick? No, no time for excuses. Well, there is, but that's scheduled for after what comes after the flirting. Go, go, go! Once everyone is gathered at the fire pit, Dwight and Claudette quickly make an announcement. We're not going to blame anyone in particular, but someone, and we're not going to say who, so don't worry, hasn't been sticking to the schedule. That means that we're behind on time for evening activities, and we'll only have time for one person to share their special spooky nighttime story. There's one story? Storytime is my favorite activity. This is a narrative-heavy experience. You're telling us that only one person gets to share? How will we decide who? Oh great, we have to decide as a group? That never goes well. Whoever did this, step up now. I swear I won't be angry. I'll merely chop your head clean off. No fuss, no muss. Voice trembling, you realize this is probably it for you, but you embrace your fate. Sorry, everyone. I think they're talking about me. To be honest, I still don't understand how this whole schedule thing works. Guess I lost track of time. Well, I passed out. Been there before, even though it's taking some pressure off me, which is an absolute dream come true. Is it really fair to pick on the newbie? Seriously, has anything here ever happened on schedule, even once? Damn it, Donald, if you try to flex that authority gimmick one more time, so help me, I'll snap your head off so quick and then I'll drown you in his blood, Cynthia. Fuss and muss are back on. You know, I love to hack, slash, and slice. We all know you love to kill. It's almost all you talk about. Nobody named any names. Who even knows any names? Not us. I renounce my name. Who is Donald? Who is Dwight? Who even cares anymore? Call me nobody. We still gotta get started on story time, so... Who do you think should go? Damn it, that's a name. Okay. So we'll pick Huntress. We actually picked Huntress the first time as well. So... we're hearing the same story again. This entire experience is being carefully crafted to avoid an IP infringement lawsuit. Let's be careful with the catchphrases. Yeah. There's a village outside the deep and ominous redwood. No child dared step foot past the threshold of thick trees and brush that separated slightly from the unknown. Grown men that ventured in often would never return, and the sounds that echoed out into the village were something inhuman. The woman of the tower told a story to the youngest children, hoping it would be enough to dissuade them from curious exploration beyond the boundaries of the village. They told of a creature that lurks in the wood, half woman, half beast, singing like a siren, haunting, beautiful. Her voice was the last relic of humanity. It lulls all who hear into her domain, and not precocious child nor fierce soldier can escape once they are in her clutches. Those who've seen her say she wears a mask of hair stained in the blood of so many poor souls. The hatchet she wields has been brought down brutally on the skull of many an unsuspecting hunter. The nightmare doesn't end there, for that's a hungry beast to do in the frigid winters with nothing but hunter meat to live off of. It is said that the Huntress, as the villagers call her, couldn't bring herself to kill the young girls that she came across in the forest. Instead, they'd suffer an even worse fate. Longing for a child of her own, she'd bring them back to her secluded cabin to keep them safe. She'd wrap a tight cord of rope around their necks and affix them to the wall. That way, they'd be warm. They'd be out of harm's way. The Huntress would even bring the girls presents, toys she'd pilfered from their bodies, masks, and she'd fashioned out of things from the cottage, and little dolls made of grass and twigs. But these toys did nothing to quell the children's fear. Within days, the girls would waste away from starvation and dehydration. For all her good intentions, the Huntress had never learned how to care for a human child. You see a tear creep down from underneath Huntress's mask. Suddenly, the most beautiful singing voice you've ever heard fills the air. There's a brief moment of silence, and you feel the need to contribute into the stirring moment. I joined in singing first, but let's do a slow clap. You stand up and clap once, then after a beat again, slowly building a dramatic group clap. Wraith stands next to you and claps. No one else does. You're clapping. It lacks energy. You must be tired. Oh, shit. Huntress isn't interested in whatever it is you're trying to do and walks off bored. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a little bit so they can all have a moment alone before bed. Everyone leaves and you're alone by the fire. The only thing you hear is the ocean slowly lapping against the shore. This is nice. True moment of peace and tranquility that lasts for all of 7 seconds because Trickster shows up and he's blaring his latest song. You look lonely. Mind if I join you? He doesn't wait for an answer. You know, you've been hearing all these guppies all day, but I want you to hear something from a big fish like me. Something special about those in charge of this island don't want you to hear. I'm the ultimate catch on this island. The only lobster in the ocean of sardines. No one can give you what I can. You just have to find me. No. Trickster leaves. You're a bit confused about what to make of his cryptic clues, but you aren't going to give any time to yourself to think about them just yet. Huntress approaches you. Of course you liked my story. Who wouldn't? It had everything. Cute kids, dead men, a huntress. I find that all stories are better with the sound of burning fire filling the air around you. All the smoke, however, I could do without. I'd rather eat barbecue than smell like it. Let's rinse off all that campfire with a dip in the hot tub, shall we? Dipping in hot tubs with the huntress? You've come a long way in a single day. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow her. An offer like that. Just don't forget our little talk. You and your storyteller friend slip into the water. It's just the right temperature for an evening dip. Plus, if some jealous shark comes along and manages to jump from the ocean into the pool, you're also pretty sure the killer companion could handle it. Before you run off, I want to make something clear. You know that half woman, half beast I was talking about in my story? That's me. I'm her. Yeah, I got that. Figured it out pretty quickly, actually. Oh, I just wanted you to know in case you thought. See, I was doing a thing where I tell a story in third person. It turns out the story is me. Huntress's eyes leer at you from behind her mask. She's had her time in the spotlight and is now playing coy. No, we're not gonna call out her tired storytelling. What the hell? You chuckle awkwardly at Huntress's statement of the obvious. Why are you laughing? I can't help but giggle when I'm both about to die and also maybe falling in love. You can't believe how awkward this intimidating woman seems right now. It's actually pretty endearing. You notice the temperature has dropped significantly despite your steamy companion. A little chilly and your bare shoulders must be freezing. Let's head back to the fire and put me to bed. We hate to intrude on whatever smooth moves or about to unveil themselves, but it's time for bed. Usually, nighttime is when I do my best hunting. But after a day like today, I'm pretty tuckered out. Will I see you tomorrow? Only if I don't see you first. You make a cute little bow hunting motion. Huntress catches the imaginary arrow you shoot in her teeth and bites down hard, snapping in half. At least, you think that's what she's doing. It's kind of hard to tell. Good night, my little snack. I'm sure that wasn't a reference to actually eating you. You head over to the campfire. The heat is comforting on this chilly night. Looking into the crackling embers, you think about Huntress's story of the half-human beast that abducted all those innocent children, an attempt to save them that led to their doom. Are you a mistaken prisoner here on this island? Is this your salvation, or will it be your demise? Before you can dwell too much on your fate, Claudette and Dwight arrive. Their now familiar creepy smiles stretching from ear to ear. It's a bit menacing to see a smile like that lit by firelight. We must apologize for the accommodations. We weren't prepared for another guest, but we're going to make you comfortable, or die trying. They hand over a pillow and blanket and welcome you to snuggle up by the fire. Perhaps some music will put you at ease? Just try to keep the volume to a minimum. Our other guests aren't the types you'll want to rob of their beauty sleep.
talk about our community. For us, it means two major things. First of all, the community is you out there. It's you
We're
and
listening to a
everybody
talk show,
else,
I guess.
either playing the game or talking about the game.
Oh. All right. I think that is like wrapping up the day. So I'm going to leave it there.